Daf Yomi Tractate Sanhedrin 2b Beis Amud Beis Bet Amud Bet, top of the page. We're still in the Mishnah, the last two lines of the Mishnah, or line, or whatever. Ve'ein bezin shakul mosifin aleihem od echad harei kan esrim shloisha. And since there is a principle that a court may not be composed of an even number of judges, as such, a court may be unable to reach a decision. Therefore, they add another one to them, and there are 23 judges here. V'chama yehei ba'ir utehei ru'uya l'Sanhedrin mea ve'esrim. Rabbi Nechemia oimer matayim u'shloshim keneged sorei asaros. And how many men must be in the city for it to be eligible for a lesser Sanhedrin? 120. Rabbi Nechemia says 230, corresponding to the ministers of tens, as outlined by Moses and Yitro in the wilderness, Exodus chapter 18. That is to say, each member of the Sanhedrin can be viewed as a judge with responsibility for 10 residents. If there are not enough men in the city to enable this calculation, it would not be honorable to appoint a Sanhedrin, as their members will each preside over less than the minimum of 10 residents. And now we start the Gemara. Zok the Gemara, atu gzeles v'chabalois, lav dinim amanois dinu, am Rabbi Bau, mahin ketoni, mahin dinim amanois, gzeles v'chabalois, aval hoidois v'halavois lo. The Mishnah states that cases of monetary law are adjudicated by 3 judges, and that cases of robbery and personal injury must also be adjudicated by 3 judges. The Gemara asks, is that to say that cases of robbery and personal injury are not cases of monetary law? Obviously they are. Why did the Mishnah delineate them separately? Rabbi Bahu says the Mishnah teaches this clause employing the style, what are these? Meaning that the expression, cases of monetary law, is a description of the category, followed by the specification. Accordingly, the Mishnah should be read as follows. What are these cases of monetary law that are adjudicated by 3 judges? Cases of robbery and personal injury. But cases of admissions, where one party admits that he owes another money, and cases of loans that were not repaid and are not included in this halacha. Utzricho, itane dinim amanois have avine, tefil hoidos felavois tane gzeles v'chavalois. Itane gzeles v'chavalois lo ketone dinim amanois. Have avine hu adin tefil hoidos felavois, v'haliktoni gzeles v'chavalois. Mishum deikar shlosha dechtivi b'gzelos v'chavalois kedivi. And this specification is necessary, as had the Tana taught only that cases of monetary law are adjudicated by 3 judges, I would say that this applies even to cases of admissions and loans. Therefore, to avoid this misunderstanding, he taught cases of robbery and personal injury in order to clarify that only they are included in the halacha. And had he taught only cases of robbery and personal injury, and had not taught cases of monetary law, I would say that the same is true even with regard to admissions and loans, that they are adjudicated in the same manner. And I would understand this fact, that the Mishnah teaches specifically cases of robbery and personal injury by saying that these are mere examples, and that the Mishnah mentions them because in the primary cases in which the requirement for 3 judges is written in the Torah, it is written with regard to cases of robbery and personal injury. Okay? Gzelois tiksiv v'nikrav balabais el Elohim chavolois mali chavol v'gufoi Madichalbo Mimoinoi Tana Mahain Dine Mamanois Gzelois Vechavolois Avaloidois Valavois Loi. The Gemara explains this assertion with regard to cases of robbery, as it is written with regard to a bailee who accepted a deposit from another loan and then claims that it was stolen. The owner of the house shall come near the court, Ha-Elohim, to see whether he has not put his hand upon his neighbor's property, Exodus 22, verse 7. And with regard to cases of personal injury, they are adjudicated in the same manner as cases of robbery, because what difference is there to me if another injured one's body, and what difference is there to me if another injured one's property? Therefore, in order to clarify that the halakha applies only to cases of robbery and injury, the Tana taught what are these cases of monetary law, cases of robbery and personal injury. But this halakha does not apply with regard to cases of admissions and loans. Ulemai ilemedela ba'inan shloisha ve'amar Rabbi Abahu shneim shedanu dinim mamnois ledevrei hakol ein dinehen madin. The Gemara asks, and with regard to which halakha are cases of admissions and loans unlike cases of robbery and injury? If we say that we do not need a court of 3 judges to adjudicate such cases, but doesn't Rabbi Abahu say with regard to a court of 2 judges that adjudicated cases of monetary law of any type, which would include cases of admissions and loans? Everyone agrees that their judgment is not a valid judgment, as a court with fewer than 3 judges is invalid. Ela de labainen mumchin. The Gemara answers, this is not the difference between the categories. Rather, the difference is that for cases of admissions and loans, we do not require expert ordained judges who have studied extensively and received permission to judge. Any 3 laymen can serve as a court for these types of cases. The Mishnah singled out cases of robbery and personal injury in order to indicate that for those cases, expert judges are necessary. Mai kasavar, ikasavar eruv perashiois, kasuv kan, di boinami mumchin, v'ikasavar ein eruv perashis kan, shloisha lamali. The Gemara clarifies, what does the Tana hold? If he holds that a merging of Torah portions is written here, then he should also require expert judges for cases of admissions and loans. The passage from which the halakha requiring 3 judges is derived, Exodus 22, 6-8, discusses several different halachot. According to the understanding that these portions should be considered as merged, they are interpreted to indicate equivalence between those halachot. And if he holds that there is no merging of Torah portions written here, meaning that the halachot are to be derived only from verses that discuss them directly, then why do I need 3 judges for admissions and loans? The requirement for 3 judges is derived from the repetition of the word Elohim 3 times in the context of cases of robbery and personal injury. Lo elam kasava eruv prishiois kasuv kan uvedin hu deli boy nami mumchin v'hai delo ba'inen mumchin mishum de Rabbi Chanina. The Rabbi Chanina davar toira echad dinim mamas ve'echad dinim nefoshes b'drisha v'chakiro. The Gemara answers, actually, the Tana holds that a merging of Torah portions is written here. And by right, he should have required expert judges to judge cases of admissions and loans as well. And this fact, meaning that we do not require expert judges for these cases, is due to the reasoning of Rabbi Chanina. And Rabbi Chanina says, by Torah law, both cases of monetary law and cases of capital law require inquiry and interrogation of witnesses in order to conclusively determine the time, place, and circumstance of the incident, with the purpose of finding any possible contradiction in the witnesses' testimony.